So I've decided this year that I'm leaning into the idea of a slightly more minimal Christmas. And it's not because I don't adore Christmas, but I also know that overwhelming feeling that can come with Christmas. It doesn't mean that I'm not decorating, because I am. It doesn't mean I'm not buying presents, because I am. It doesn't mean I'm not hosting people, because I actually am multiple times. But I'm just gonna dial back some of the excess. For today, in honor of my minimal Christmas, I'm sharing with you some of the stuff I'm not spending my money on this Christmas. Some things I think you can skip on buying and still have a super great Christmas, because I would be lying if I said some of my motivation to have a more minimal Christmas didn't come from wanting to save a little bit of money. Okay, number one is too much food. Whether you're hosting or you're going to an event, I have found consistently through time that every time I am at any event ever, there is always too much food. When have you ever been to a potluck, to a holiday gathering, and like halfway through the party, all the food is gone and everyone's like so hungry? No, usually there's so much food left over. The host or hostess is trying to send you home with plates of stuff. We typically buy way more food than we even need. I notice that when I go somewhere and I order, maybe I'm ordering fish and I say I'm ordering for 4 people, they always give me way more than 4 servings. I feel like the actual serving sizes of things are insane, and especially at holiday type parties, there's gonna be so many different foods. People are not gonna be eating a whole serving of every single thing. So by really being a lot more realistic about the food that you actually need, you can save a ton of money, because let's be honest, food is super expensive right now. Okay, next is gift wrapping and gift bags. Now, one, if you haven't already started, save your gift bags from the year before. Like, gift bags can just keep going around year after year after year. We actually have a gift bag that we are still using every single Christmas that was my brother's, that he would use as a child. This thing is like 30 years old. For gift wrapping, I actually bought a big roll of craft paper this year, and I'm going to be using it for the majority of my wrapping. So not only does craft paper kind of fit into a minimal Christmas theme in the sense because it's going to look a lot more like neutral and clean under my Christmas tree to not have 8 bajillion colors, you can still jazz these up and make them look beautiful and festive. I opted to get some really, really pretty ribbon to tie mine up with. You could also hand letter people's names. You can do obviously like little gift tags. You can tie on sprigs of evergreen. Like, you can make these look really pretty. But at the end of the day, you wrap something and then somebody's just gonna rip it all off and it's gonna end up in the trash. So when you really step back and think about it, it seems really silly to add, I don't know, upwards of like $100 to your Christmas budget just for paper people are gonna rip off. All right, number 3 is the little extra gifts. I can be so guilty of doing this. You see something maybe when you're checking out or you're online and it's like a little extra gift for somebody on your list. It's maybe 10 or 15 bucks and you're like, they would probably like it. This is really cute. It reminds me of them. The problem is with these little extra gifts is they can add up. You buy a few little extra gifts for everybody and that can easily add $100 or more to your Christmas budget. And lots of times these little extra things, they're cute. Maybe they made you think of the person, but they're often not super practical items. So there may be items you're giving to the person, but there's not a lot of use for them to do with it. These are like novelty things, or you know what I mean. All right, next up is more decorations. Certainly with access to social media, this becomes even more prevalent, but we see so many adorable decorations, and it's really easy to want to add more and more and more every year. But here's something that I've really realized is like, most of us are never going to be able to keep up with Pinterest. As an influencer and somebody who works with people who create a lot of this content, I can tell you this is not sustainable decor for everyday life. A lot of these people, like, this is their full-time job to be decorating and redecorating and redecorating again. Just take the little pieces that you like from different decor or different things you see and take little pieces of it, as opposed to trying to like recreate this monstrosity over the top Christmas decor. Or something that we do in our house, we decided like each year we would buy one thing to add to it. So like the first year we bought our outdoor Christmas lights, and the second year we bought the wreaths that we put on the windows. So you can also just add to it year after year. Don't feel like you need to do it all in a single year. Okay, next up for those just in case people, like I think we all, as we make our Christmas list, we end up with people on the list where we're like, I might need a gift for this person, or you're kind of worried that like if you run into somebody or whatever, you kind of always like want to have a present or two to the side. My suggestion here is consider making something and just kind of making it in bulk and keeping it around for these just in case people, as opposed to going out and spending a lot of money on, buying a bunch of these just in case presents. So lots of years, what I actually do is I make a big batch of homemade granola. This year I made a bunch of Muddy Buddies, but you can put them into just like a mason jar. You can get these literally at the Dollar Tree, wrap it up with some pretty ribbon, and now you haven't really spent a ton of money. You just made one big bulk item. You can hand it out to these just in case people, and if you get towards the end of the holiday season and you didn't end up needing to use them, just like pack them into other people's presents, send them along to school for your kids' teachers, or like throw it into, add it into a gift basket or a gift bag you already had for somebody else. Okay, last up is to resist the urge to feel like you need to make your house picture perfect. This is specifically if you are hosting people. Lots of times when we're hosting people, that gives us like the itch to finish any big projects. Like maybe we wanted to do a project in the bathroom or whatever. If we know we're gonna be hosting for the holidays, we might feel like we have to finish all of these projects to make our house so picture perfect. So my tip is just not to overdo it. Usually the stuff that we recognize about our home that we think is outdated, that we wish we could swap, that like we wished looked prettier or was different or was more trendy or whatever, nobody else really notices when they come over. When they come over, they're there for the event, they're there for you, they're there for the moments. Like nobody's going home and they're like, oh my God, did you see Callie's faucet? Like that is so outdated. Essentially the things you notice, nobody else notices. The same like, like when you're wearing a certain outfit and you're like worried about like one little part of your outfit, like nobody else notices. Nobody else sees the pimple on your face. Like literally nobody else notices. So don't feel like you need to be finishing up home projects, especially if it's not within your current budget, just because of events that are happening for Christmas. All right, my friends, there you have it. Those are some of my ways that I am not going to be overspending this Christmas, but hopefully some motivation on places that you can cut your spending as well. You can sort of be like, you know what? I really don't need that this Christmas. That is not gonna make my Christmas more merry. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.